Hello. Oh, I don't need it. Hey y'all, how y'all doing? So, my name is Stormi Steele. I'm the CEO and founder of Canvas Beauty Brand, and also now the founder of Canvas the Agency. So, I got a little secret to tell y'all. I couldn't stand up now. I can't stand. I wasn't gonna make it in them heels. But look, I got a secret to tell y'all. So this has been my very first keynote. Not the very first time I've been asked, but this is the first time I've said yes. And it got to the point where when the message came through, they was like, okay, this is the topic, this is the keynote. Like, I was like, is it a panel? They was like, no, it's a keynote, but we can make it a panel. And I ended up saying, you know what, keep it a keynote. I'll do it. And the reason why I ended up doing it is because I have this core belief, and the belief is nothing great comes from comfort zones. I had got so comfortable doing panels that I told myself, like, I don't want to do keynotes. But that goes totally against everything that I believe in. So that's why I'm doing the keynote today. And I truly believe that nothing great comes from comfort zones, and that has truly been my journey on TikTok Shop. So I'll give you guys some backstory. I got on TikTok Shop in August of 2023. I was this CEO, this entrepreneur who had seen massive success. I went viral in 2020. I did over $20 million in sales. But it was like the fastest upward trajectory that I ever seen. And by 2022, I was damn near losing everything, like my business, everything. So it's safe to say I was exceptionally uncomfortable when I got on TikTok Shop. And when I got on there, my goal was just to do things I'd never done before because I wanted results that I needed at the time. And that uncomfortability, I would say, it literally showed me that, like, even in entrepreneurship, like, you can still build a muscle. Like, it comes from being uncomfortable. It comes from pain. That pain of almost losing my business and everything inspired me to be uncomfortable and do things that I never done before. And the topic of this keynote for me is how I won on TikTok. I won on TikTok just by being uncomfortable, always finding another way, and literally just never taking no for an option. Like, that was my whole story. And it was to the point where, for me, I kind of got to the point where I started to get comfortable again on TikTok. And every time I got comfortable, I said, no, I'm going to push the envelope. I'm going to do something different. And then that's how I ended up starting the agency. So with the Canvas agency, I'll give you a backstory. Another thing that I always say is, I do it now. A lot of people don't understand the power of doing it now. Somebody waiting on them to say the right way to do it, you should do it this way, you should do it that way. But I'm a firm believer in the quote that perfect never gets done, and done is better than perfect. So if you're a creator, if you're an entrepreneur, just start. Like, don't think that you can't do something great because you don't have all the resources. The best thing to do in entrepreneurship is just to be resourceful. I could sit up here and give y'all tip after tip after tip after what to do, but everything that works for somebody else don't necessarily work for you. So the best thing to do is train your mind. If you want to be a winner, you got to think like a winner. And winners don't think about losing. They only think about winning, even when it's hard. And that's what I did. People tell me, oh, it's hard enough to do it one time, but I cuss a lot, so I'm sorry. They were like, bitch, you did it twice. And I was like, I did because losing just wasn't an option for me. I didn't know what winning looked like for me in my next season, but I knew that I was going to tell myself that no matter what, that what God got for me, I'm going to get it. And I feel like in business, whether you're a content creator or what, that's how you got to go into this thing, this world of TikTok. TikTok is doing something powerful and amazing in terms of TikTok Shop, TikTok Live, but it's still very much underdeveloped here in the United States, right? There's a lot of data that says you can do this, you can do that. To be honest, when I got into live selling, we were in what is considered the alpha, like we were one of the first to do it. There was really nothing to study or nothing to go by to figure out like what was the best path to take. So a lot of the stuff that I did was just based off me saying, I'm gonna trust my intuition. And I feel like as business owner, as creators, like that's what you guys need to be doing. I know we had a Fast Mouse comfort. They'll probably kill me for saying data don't matter, but data does matter. But data is the account for what's already happened. If you really want to be groundbreaking, if you want to do something that ain't never been done before, you got to challenge the status quo and you got to set it. So I always looked at data. I would study things. I would say, okay, I see how that worked, but I'm looking at why something worked so I can figure out also how it could have worked better so I can find my own way in it. And that's kind of what I've done this whole time on TikTok Shop. And I'm a firm believer in owning your process. So for me, I like backstories, right? So in 2020, and I started to lose my business in 2021, a lot of that came because I grew too fast. People were smarter than me. I didn't understand my process. I didn't own a lot of my process. I was dealing with manufacturers who were getting me products late. I'm behind on orders, just all kind of things. I was dealing with people who knew everything that I didn't know. And then this season, I was like, no, I need to own my entire process. So I've been focused on owning my process all the way down to like the Canvas agency. So I'm not sure if you guys know, but now I have Canvas Beauty Brand, but we also have Canvas the agency. And back to saying do it now, Canvas the agency, I had my agency structured and set up back in March. It was ready to go back then. But I kept putting it off. I was like, I need my website to be perfect. I need this flow. I need that. I need this. And it got to the point I started to find myself doing everything that I said is what, doesn't align with winning. And I just decided to just do it now. So August the 29th, we had a mega live. It did really, really well, almost $2 million in sales. And I said, I'm going to start the agency. I'm going to bring on members. I brought on like 16 people. And in the first 2 weeks of launching the agency, we created 5 six-figure live sellers. And the very next week after that, we helped a feminine hygiene brand hit their first six-figure live. And if I had to just stay still, thank you. If I had to stay still, if I had to not did it then, I couldn't tell y'all that today. So if you want to win on this platform, just do it now and learn as you go. Don't think that if you see something metrically or in the data, I need to do it this way, because you need to find your way in doing it, because that's how you win. And never think that in your season, like it ain't for you. Because if you have a vision on your heart, it's truly for you. Like it'll always be for you. And that's kind of been like the thing for me in business. So back to me saying like own your process. Back in 2021, I didn't own my process. A lot of people got over on me. Even with the agency, me starting the Canvas agency now, I started it because I had to end up working with an agency, and even in this season, that didn't handle Canvas appropriately. So that was one of the reasons why I wanted to start the agency. But then another reason was I also believe in business. And these are just tips that I just want to give y'all to think about so you can train your mindset to like always think about winning, always thinking that whatever in your spirit is for you. So for me, with the agency, I believe in this quote, you always should do something for purpose, not personal. A lot of people in business are doing things that solely helps themselves. With me in Canvas, I did things because I wanted to add value to other people. And now with me in business, with the agency, my goal is to add value to other creators. And when you do that, it falls back into this space. I always quote this. It was like Jamal King. I'm not sure if y'all know who Jamal King is. You know who Jamal King? I love him, by the way. But I had went to one of his conferences. Girl, I ain't did shit with real estate yet, but we're going to get there. He had said in his conference, he said, your obedience is connected to so many other people's destiny. And that hit me so hard. In my lowest season, I always relied on that. And I always relied on like what God was doing for me. I would say to myself, Stormi, anytime I had any doubt, I would say, Stormi, if you were supposed to fail, you would have failed already. And that made me lean more into the fact that your obedience is connected to so many other people's destiny. Every time you turn your camera on, every time you do anything in business, always think about the value and what you got to offer can give somebody else, because that opens you up to the law of reciprocity. That means that what you put out, you're going to get back. And a lot of people ain't aware that when you're doing something for not just your personal gain, but for purpose, when that putting you in alignment with what you're supposed to have in your life. So I know a lot of people can get up here and like say, okay, if you do it this way, you'll get this result. But your why matters. Like the reason why you choose to show up every day matters. And it matters because it's the thing that gets you to the end. A lot of people start something and they don't finish it because they don't have a why. They just want to do it in the now because they see somebody else doing it and they want that personal achievement of it. But really, everybody here, and I'm real spiritual, so I really believe that we all here for a reason. Every single person here, no matter what you're doing, whether it's TikTok shop, whether you're taking a walk, like you're here taking up space for the betterment of the world. And we should look at everything we do like that. You turn your camera on, try to provide value to somebody. You know, we sell products all day. Most of these products, a lot of people want to be affiliates and stuff because they want the personal part of it. They want the money. But to be honest, there's so many beneficial products and things like that on TikTok Shop that actually add value to people. So when you start doing it from a place of passion and purpose and not just personal, you're going to open yourself up once again, like I said, to the law of reciprocity. What you put out, you will get back. That's just a law, like the law of gravity. What goes up comes down. Like that's just how life works. It's just set up for us like that. And so back to like owning your process. So if you're a creator, if you're a business owner, when I say own your process, know how to do your videos, know how to do every single part of your business. Understand how you want to make your content. If you're a creator, if you're a business owner, like with Canvas, we own our manufacturing. We own the agency. Like we own our marketing. We own everything. And the reason why you want to have much control over your process as possible, the more control you can have over your process, the more fluidity you can have, the more in flow you can be, the quicker you can move. Success loves speed. Money loves speed. The faster you can get something done, the faster you can get to where you're going. And the only way to do that is to have ownership. And then if you don't have ownership, you truly got to know how to vet and trust the people that you put your success in the hands of. So that's one of the reasons why I would say Canvas wins on TikTok. I've always made sure that I was in a position to run. I'll give you a backstory. When we first went viral, it was August 2023. And I was, like, I'm talking, like, very next day. Like, one day the shit went viral. And then once some OVLs got off, it was, like, every single day. Like, it was, like, and you know, back then, even now, like, you got to keep up with the shipping. So for us, it was either we keep up with the shipping or we turn our store off. You turn your store off, I'm a firm believer of inertia. An object in motion, stay in motion. An object at rest, stay in rest. So my brain was like, shit, I prayed for this. If I turn this off, what I'm going to do? So I made sure that we was flexible and agile enough to, like, adapt through challenging situations. I didn't turn my store off. I hired 24 cousins from Mississippi, put them in hotels, and we got them orders out the door. And I say that to say, if you can train your mind to never see anything as a challenge but an opportunity, you're going to always get to your next level. I done seen plenty of people can't keep up with it because they be like, oh, I can't do it. Winners don't say they can't. Winners find a way to do it. So the topic they gave me today was, how do you win on TikTok Shop? I don't think about losing. And even if I lose, I won because I learned something. I do that every time. Like, I don't care what's going on around me. I done been through the lowest. Y'all almost lost my damn house after I done bought my dream house. So it's like, for me, I'm like, nah, ain't no losing. I'm only going to win. If something go wrong for me, I look at it and I say, nope, find another way. We never accept defeat. That's how you win. I can tell you tips. I can tell you tricks. That don't mean it's going to work for you. Because a lot of people don't even have the mindset to think past if that shit didn't work for them the first time. They'll be like, well, they said, the data said it was going to work, but it ain't working for me. And then they say, I'm done. Well, that ain't how you win. You win because you find another way. You stay agile. You stay fluid. And you always think about winning. And you always know that you never lose. Nothing happens to you. It's always happening for you. Now, I'm the #1 live seller, right? You would think I don't have no challenges with TikTok. I tell you right now, my story got an OVL on it because USPS couldn't ship my package. They didn't scan my packages in on time. I could have got mad. I could have been like, how y'all can't take this shit off of me? But no, what I said was, no, we find another way. And I looked at it like, God want me to be a little still right now in this season, so I'm going to steal my ass down. So that's what I'm doing. And then sitting down, I was able to uncover so much stuff that I was missing in my business because I was running too fast. So that's another thing. And you can adapt the mindset of this is happening. Anything that you feel adverse, this happening for me, you're going to always get to what you want. Now, I understand that this is a panel about TikTok and about growing and about scaling, but I promise you, reaching your highest level, reaching your peak, all comes with how you think, how you feel. Like what you can't attract greatness if you ain't putting out great energy, if you ain't having great thoughts. Like it really, really, truly starts there. And then I'll give you another thing too. So outside, I wrote it down, child. Let me look at my notes. So outside of the law of reciprocity, I always say this too. This one that I live by heavily. Never stop before the gold. I don't know if y'all read the book, the Secret. Y'all read that? Okay. So, and Think and Grow Rich. Y'all read that one? Okay. Y'all know there's a part in that book that said never stop before the goal. I want to say it was the guy, he was mining, right? And he had bought all this equipment, and he thought he knew what a goal was, and he borrowed money. He made enough money to pay the money back. And then he stopped. He got tired. He said, damn, this shit ain't working for me. Oh, I'm tired. He ended up selling his equipment to somebody who, you know, stayed in the game enough to learn that he was in the right spot. And that man went out there and he struck the same goal that this man said, I can't endure. And that's just a testament to show that sometimes it's always darkest before the dawn. A lot of people feel, you feel the most hopeless right when you're on the edge of your breakthrough. And you feel that way because God testing you. He trying to see, can you handle this? And if you can't handle that, you can't handle what you want. And the only way to get what you want, you got to be able to handle what you're asking for. And so I always look at that book. I love that book, by the way, because there's so many life lessons in there. Like I go back to saying like data. Don't always like focus on the data. Like you can focus on the data because you need the information, but what do you have to offer? Like trust your gut. Because think about the Wright brothers, right? These motherfuckers said they're gonna build a object that fly in the air that take people from left to right. People looking at them like, what the hell? Like that ain't no thing. Cause it wasn't a thing, but they had the idea and they stayed diligent even when people called them crazy. And now the aviation system, the aviation world is one of the most lucrative industries in the world. They didn't know that at the time, but they stayed steadfast on their vision. Even with me, when I got on TikTok Shop, I was losing everything. I really mean it when I say I was literally losing everything. Like I was telling the guy who did my marketing, I was like, I'm gonna get on TikTok Shop because he was like, how we gonna do this? How we gonna do that? We was doing like ads and stuff, you know, the regular stuff at the time. And I was like, well, I'm gonna get on TikTok and I'm gonna go viral. Now, mind you, TikTok had been a thing, but I had never got on TikTok because I was comfortable with what I was doing. It was working for me. But here I am, uncomfortable as hell, and I'm like, I gotta find another channel. I gotta figure it out. And I kept saying, I'm gonna go viral on TikTok. He did my ads, you know, he would do the back end of the ads, and he was like, I don't know, like, you can say that, but like, you just can't go viral on TikTok. You couldn't tell me that. I was like, I'm going viral on TikTok. And I kid you not, the very first week I got on TikTok, we ended up going viral, and it literally got here today. But that was because I believed in it. A lot of times, like, what you believe in helps you get to what you want. Everybody want to be the best affiliate. Everybody want to have the biggest brand, but don't nobody want to believe in it enough to the point where when the shit don't look right, they keep going. That's the key. Keep going. Do it now. Don't stop. And definitely don't stop before you reach the goal, because the truth of the matter is, if you working on something diligently, you have to have results. Like, that's just law. Like, you're gonna get the results if you keep working. And a lot of people quit, and that's that moment where you're being tested the most. So the topic of today's speech was, how do you win on TikTok? You just win on TikTok by just believing in yourself, showing up, always being fluid, flexible, never accepting defeat, and always knowing that anything adverse happening, say you post a video and you don't get the views you want, post another one. Do it again. We don't quit. We just find another way. That's how you not only win on TikTok, but that's how you win in life. And I think my 20 minutes up. Awesome. I wish I could, y'all could ask some questions, but they probably want me to leave.
Thanks, Stormi. That was so inspirational, and I think we have a lot in common because I have that similar mindset of.
You do?
Yeah, I love it. You're
thank
speaking
you.
everything that I agree with. And if you do want to do questions, I'm happy to run in the audience.
It's fine.
You want to?
I'm cool with it.
Okay.
Any questions? Go ahead. Oh, you're so pretty. You from what part? What? Okay.
I know that I showed interest probably about a month ago, probably when you first opened. And what are you looking for in an influencer or a client, or how do we start that process if that's something that we're interested in?
So for me, I was this girl in my kitchen who grew my business, right? I ain't have a lot of followers and none of that. So I really like real everyday people who just connect. I can teach anybody how to have a six-figure live. We've done it. A lot of the people who had the six-figure lives in our agency, that was their first live. So I'm really more so just looking for people who had an eye of the tiger, who ready to learn, or who really ready to trust the process. Because that's another thing, too, that hold a lot of people back. Everybody doubting stuff. They doubting it ain't for me. Oh, when is my turn? Like, people who just really open and ready, like, those are the people that I'm looking for.
Okay.
Let's do one more question. Okay.
Hey, Stormi, congratulations.
Thank you.
I was introduced to you through your hairline. So I've been using Canva Beauty conditioner, shampoo, oil, all that good stuff for a long time before you blew up with the glaze. When you gonna get that on TikTok? Now let me tell you, when the glaze blew up, girl, I did put the shampoo and the conditioner on and sold some sets.
Oh.
But we need the individual conditioner, the individual oil. What are you thinking about that?
So it's actually in the process of being like relaunched now with a whole new like upgraded aesthetic. So we're looking real January next year.
Okay.
I wanted it to be Black Friday, but I wanted it to be perfect, so I'm gonna take my time on it.
Are you changing the formula or anything?
Formula stay the same, but the look different.
Okay,
like
the
packaging.
conditioner. Don't touch that conditioner. I love
promise
that's
you I
my
won't.
favorite. Okay. All right.
I won't.
Bye.